Before we let you go, this is just breaking here.
Sure.
The media says you're in the doghouse with Trump. Is that true? Or is that fake news?
That's fake news, Jesse.
Well, I mean, if he says it's fake news and with that genuine laughter, he's just so enjoying this conversation. I mean, look, I know that I should question public officials. I think that maybe I'm just being won over by his natural charm. But anyway, that's Peter Navarro, and he's basically been seen to be kind of like the avatar of Donald Trump's ideological attachment to the idea of tariffs solving literally every problem. If there's anyone who has more faith in tariffs than Trump, it would be Peter Navarro. And Navarro calls the reports that he could potentially be about to be thrown under the bus fake news. But he was also implying right before the tariffs were dialed back that would literally never happen. You could take it to the bank, they're here to stay. So he doesn't have a lot of credibility in the public marketplace of ideas or rhetoric. But at this point, I think we had talked about the possibility that he could suffer consequences when Donald Trump retreats. What do you think about these reports?
Yeah, so I've got a little bit mixed opinions on it, which is that, so is Navarro fake laughing? I don't have a mixed opinion on that. Yeah, that was wonderfly awkward. Like, no, that's, oh yeah, fake news. Sure it is, brother. Okay, so yeah, he's lost power. Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, has gained power. So we'll tell you what that means and the ramifications of that in a second. But also, the upside is that they really do have a team of rivals, and yeah. But how does that help us? Well, I want to explain that too. But first, let's keep making fun of Navarro.
Yeah, let's definitely do some of that. It is looking like, as of right now, he's been basically sidelined. That's what Politico is saying, with Lutnick now being sort of elevated, but Bessent probably more so than the others, which feels like kind of like a micro version of the economic sort of argument, the factions that happened during Trump's first term, where again, Trump was interested in starting these trade wars and everything, but then the adults in the room, quote unquote, sort of took over. It feels like Bessent's kind of playing like that role in this particular case. But the issue for Navarro is that he's very tied in with basically every part of the disaster that we just experienced and we're still seeing the fallout of. He apparently was largely behind the way that they came up with those particular tariffs for Liberation Day, which liberated so many Americans from their retirement. So he came up with the formula, people are saying, or at least he typed in the prompt to ChatGPT that generated the formula, and maybe he ordered at Kinko's the little write-up of what it would look like. He also insisted that the tariffs would be non-negotiable, and so he's really closely tied to it, more than basically anyone else. Now, for Politico's report, they had 3 anonymous people close to the White House that they had as sources. So Jesse Waters is always gonna pretend that it's the media saying something. It's the media being told by sources, the endless, again, stream of leakers inside the Trump administration. They're the ones that are the source for this. Now, it's also nuanced. They say that Navarro still has Trump's ear. Trump respects Navarro's aggressive populism, which for some reason in Politico's reporting doesn't have quotation marks around it. And that doesn't mean he's at the center of it. And importantly, they also say in the reporting, those sources, that the big feud, the very public social media feud between Navarro and Elon Musk, that isn't necessarily what's driving Navarro maybe being put into the back seat here. I think it's mainly just the fallout of the tariffs themselves, but that's the way they're describing it right now.
Yeah, so remember whenever there's a story like this, somebody leaked it to this reporter and they had an agenda. So what is their agenda here? This is the Bessent side, the winning side. I'm not saying it's Bessent himself, but somebody on that side basically saying to Navarro through the press, ha ha. Okay, now they would add in that, remember Elon had nothing to do with this, because that person is probably allied with Elon. So they don't want people thinking that Elon's the real president and he's the one, the biggest donor that's making the decisions, etc. So no, it has nothing to do with Elon. And by the way, it might not. But the fact that they said that doesn't mean anything. So now Navarro, of course, in my opinion, is a grade A clown. He's the one that really believed that these nuclear level tariffs would work when no rational person should have thought that they would work. Especially, he's a Harvard trained economist. Dude, that's embarrassing.
Oh my God.
Okay, and remember, he's a terrible guy too. He's the one that came up with or at least detailed the fake elector plot to overturn the 2020 election in his book. He was bragging about it. Like, you're right, that we're breaking these electors, right? And they weren't the ones that were elected, but so what? And then we steal the election. Now, he doesn't say steal. He has code words for it, but they're very thinly disguised. So as bad a guys you'll find, I'm thrilled that he's lost some power. But the part of the reporting that's right, that John told you about, is that no, he's not gone. He's like Bob. You think he's gone? He's not gone. That's such an old school, what about Bob reference.
I barely get it.
Yeah, I know, right? Bill Murray, check it out. So he's right there. Okay, anyways. But look, to be fair, like both Republicans and Democrats in the past have pretended to have a team of rivals. Obama bragged about it. They always pick the transportation secretary as the one from the other party. They never have any kind of real conversations or debates. It's just marketing. It doesn't mean anything at all. And Democrats will pick a Republican defense secretary half the time. It's just helping the Republicans seem stronger. There's always such a terrible and useless thing, right? But in this case, they really are rivals. Navarro and Musk actually hate each other. And Bessent is definitely on the opposite side of Lutnick. So Lutnick's the Commerce Secretary. He's also lost a lot of power and leverage now. He was on Navarro's side. And Bessent's the Treasury Secretary. He's the one that is more of a traditional Republican. Like, we came here for the robbery. Let's not ruffle, the pillows and the upholstery here, right? Let's nice and easy. We've got the $5 trillion tax cut robbery incoming. Let's all focus on that, and after we rob the American people, then we can go back to our fights. So my point is, I'm not a fan of Bessent either. I'm not a fan of any of those guys, but they do have genuine disagreements. And one positive for Trump, I mean, the negatives are obvious, right? I mean, what kind of knucklehead thought that those global tariffs were gonna work? Okay, but the upside is when he's getting hurt bad in the polling, in the markets or whatever, he does turn around. Like thank God, because if he didn't turn around, his ideas are so catastrophically bad that it would, I don't know that we can recover. But yes, once he hits calamity, he goes, all right, okay, I got it. You're out of the room. The other guys, you're in the room now. Now, again, I would hope for a strategy that was a lot more thoughtful than that, but at least he has the ability to turn around when he's made a massive mistake. So we'll take it, I guess. Was.
So I want folks to think about this Navarro and Trump situation. A very close friend of mine has like a celebrity client who has a reputation for having a bit of a volatile personality. And the guy went out there and did something crazy. And I said to my friend, I was like, why didn't you step in front of this? And he said to me, Waz, you know what I've learned about working with these famous, powerful people? When they have something in their head that they want to do, they're gonna shop that idea to the people around them until they find one person that agrees with them, and that's what they go with. So I'm sure Trump took this tariff thing that he's literally been talking about since the 80s. Back when he was complaining about Japan. You can look this up. It was Japan back then who we were worried about their economy someday surpassing us, and their cars were taking over our economy, and blah, blah, blah. And Trump was talking about tariffs back then. He's had this seed of we need to do tariffs for 35 years now, right? And so Navarro is the only person that literally takes him up on it. It's like, yeah, boss, let's do it. In fact, let's do it in the most extreme, ridiculous, stupid way possible. And then he does it, and it inevitably fails. And Trump's like, this idiot, Navarro, I don't know why I let him talk me into this. And now he's been sidelined. But make no mistake, it was Trump's idea. And Navarro was kind of the only sycophant who was dumb enough to put his name behind this thing. And so now he's been sidelined, but he'll never be permanently discarded because Trump deeply, sincerely, almost religiously believes in this tariff regime. Yeah. And so, that's what we're gonna get. But I think the only thing that we could take, be heartened by, and Nate Silver in his newsletter either today or yesterday was like, well, we shouldn't have the market be the sort of fourth branch of government. Ideally, we'd have a freaking leader that had vision and had a plan. I think this is the first time in a long time, though, that Trump ran into something that was tangible. It's not like some norm that we've established, this intangible that's out in the ether. Like, no, you can't say this. Like, no, you can't align yourself with this person. Like, no, dude, like the way the global economy works, these businesses have to plan months, if not years ahead for how they want to spend, how they want to hire, what they want to invest in, what they want to do R&D in. And if America, the biggest consumer economy in the world, is a basket case, the markets are going to be cooked. There's nothing Trump can do about that.
I think at this point, everybody's wondering the same thing I am. Who's that celebrity?
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.